Alright, I've been sat at my desk for about 10 minutes now trying to write a damn intro for this video, and every single time I record, I keep sounding like a YouTuber. I'm not sure if that's just like because I kind of grew up with the first generation to really like watch YouTube, and so I kind of like find myself talking like creators. It's really cringe, but I'm trying my hardest to not sound like a YouTuber right now with all the "What's up, guys?" and oh my god. But anyways, oh god, I have to do it, don't I? What's up, guys? It's the weekly detour here, and yeah, I've been wanting to do one of these videos for god as long as I can remember. Honestly, I mean, again, I said I grew up in the generation that was kind of watching these videos. Right now, I'm 22, just graduated college, and things are changing right now. A lot of new stuff is happening. Right now, I work with my friends. We do software development during the day, and then at night, sometimes I play some gigs at some bars with my friends. I play bass in a band down here, and I might make a video about that stuff later on if I ever come back to it. But kind of what I've been wanting to talk about a lot recently, something that I've really been feeling is so I consider myself like a creative person, and I really, really thrive off of like making new stuff, having products. That's why the software stuff is really great with my friends because we're constantly making new things. Um, but I never really feel fulfilled unless I'm churning out new stuff, and so a lot of the time, whenever I'm working on a longer form project, or like right now after I've graduated, I'm not like really doing much. I mean, I am, but just feels like there's something missing unless I'm like making something. Um, but it's weird because like I experience kind of like a paradox, and I'm sure a lot of other people do as well. But it's like I love making stuff, and I know how much I love it, and I know how great it makes me feel, but I almost never want to start anything new. And I don't know why. Uh, I'm not sure if it's like the idea of starting something new feels like a chore, or it's I don't know. It's weird because there's a blank canvas there, and you've got an idea, and you've got no timeline, and so nobody's like on your back telling you, "Oh, you got to do this, you got to do that." But the thing is, like, once I start actually making something, and once I start creating something new, it feels like really great. Like I've been thinking about making this damn video for I don't even know how long, probably years now, and I just never really like made myself do that first 5%. But like now, I mean, I'm having a blast. Like, meanwhile, I'm just sitting in my room, just fucking by myself at 1:13 in the morning. But regardless, I think a lot of it comes down to just that fear of the unknown, and I mean, starting something new means that you're stepping into kind of like an uncertain part in your life where like you don't know if it's going to turn out well or if it's going to be a waste of time, and that brings a lot of anxiety. um I know for me, a big reason, at least a big reason that I tell myself that I shouldn't start new stuff is because I'm so worried that it's not going to turn out well, and it's just going to be a waste of my time. And that's a big reason that I don't start new stuff, and I hate it because like I know how well I can make something if I just put in time and I put in effort. And I'm sure I'm gonna be looking back on this video in 5 years or whatever and just be like, holy crap, like what are you doing right now? You've got this Walmart microphone that you've had for literally like 8 years. It's like duct taped together, and like what are you doing? And but I mean, the act of creating in itself is a learning process, and it is valuable, but just that starting of new things and not knowing if it's going to turn out well just like kind of sucks. And there's also that pressure of expectations. When you've made something you're proud of, there's this invisible bar that you feel you have to like kind of exceed with every new project. It feels like the more you make and the better things that you create, like the higher stakes become. And so if you're constantly like moving these goalposts and moving these expectations, then you're just going to always kind of end up feeling like unfulfilled. So as I mentioned, I'm in a band. We're called Speakeasy, and we've got a bunch of original music out. And I'm kind of planning ahead for our next release. I manage the band, and and all your Spotify singles need cover art, and so somebody's got to make that art, and that unfortunately most of the band stuff outside of playing the music at shows falls upon me, and I like doing it, but that means I've got to create new stuff. So anyways, I have this cover art in my head, and it's probably going to take a couple hours to do, and I really don't want to do it, and I keep putting it off and putting it off because I'm like, oh, it's not going to turn out well, and oh, this is going to take a lot of effort, and it might not even turn out great. Like, I'd have to teach myself something on Photoshop, and finally today, actually, I just forced myself to just do it, and I told myself I just spent 10 minutes on it, and then eventually that unfortunately turned into 3 hours because sure enough, I taught myself the right stuff on Photoshop, and it wasn't even that hard. So that's just like an unfortunate lesson that I always just keep like learning that like if you just put 10 minutes into something, you'll kind of find that you can build that momentum. And then at the end of it, I was able to send the cover art to everybody else in my band, and I remembered the reason that I love being in charge of this type of thing anyways, because I get to make cool stuff and then share it with my friends, and then they can tell me what they think. But at the end of the day, it's not really about making the end product anyways. It's about the process and enjoying creating things, because you never want to make yourself, you never want to put those expectations on you, and then if you don't meet them, feeling unfulfilled. But man, that first step is always the hardest, and I think that's true for a lot of us. Not just in creative fields, but just anything worthwhile. Anything you're passionate about. There's always going to be that hurdle in the beginning. It's important to recognize it, but then push through it and make yourself overcome those creative blocks. So I guess like a main takeaway is like how do we overcome this? And for me, it's kind of just setting those small goals. Like again, for example, just that first 10 minutes. Just okay, I'll work on this for 10 minutes, and if I'm not feeling it, then I'll go and do something else. But that's usually enough to get me started. And then once I'm in it, the resistance usually fades away pretty quickly. But maybe I'm just an existential 22-year-old just with nothing better to do. But if you guys feel the same way, let me know in the comments, and yeah, maybe I'll make another one of these videos. I don't know, it's a little therapeutic, so maybe I'll be back pretty soon. But anyways, thanks for listening to my ramblings, and take care, keep creating, and I'll see you guys later.